People are saying things like, I'm embarrassed that I used to watch this podcast. One woman destroyed an entire crew's reputation and credibility. My greatest fear is to end up with a friend circle like Akaash's, fakest group on earth. This is worse than when Will Smith went to the red table. Akaash, your wife saying HJ and BJ don't count is not a good thing. Yikes, the worst thing you can do is try to make your audience look dumb. This is what the people who subscribe to his channel and watch their content are saying about him. This is crazy. Right now, everyone is having a discussion and they're arguing about the drama that's unfolding between Akaash Singh and his wife. And the reason why there's drama behind it is because there has been clips that have gone viral because of the things that Jasleen, which is his wife, that she has said about her behavior before they got married. And some people, they say that these stories, they contradict a lot of things that she says that she is, like a virgin, because she speaks about going to frat parties and, you know, having rotations of men, and she speaks about a lot of words that I can't really say on this channel. You know, what it's saying is that the people who are reacting in their audience, they're calling her a gold digger because she would say things about how men need money and that how she invested low and then she's selling high when it comes to Akaash. Now, people, they aren't upset just about the content. They're upset about the transparency, the honesty. They're upset just about the relationship. Looking at this relationship, there's so much that we can learn from. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this, because there are 3 truths that need to be revealed about this and discussed. The first thing that we need to realize is that vulnerability, it's a double-edged sword. When you share personal things publicly, the world is going to judge your honesty. They're going to judge your past. They're going to judge your relationship. And so when you gain an audience and you put things out into the public, people, they will weaponize it. Some people will support you, but most people, they will weaponize it. Transparency, it requires emotional armor. Whatever you put out there, you better be willing to stand by it and defend it, because your past, it will always visit you if you invite it. And that's the second point that I want to talk about. Your past will always visit you if you invite it. We all have a past of doing things that we're ashamed of or doing things that other people might look at us funny. The lesson that we can learn from this is that we need to own our story before the internet does it for us. When you're not solid in your identity, then you allow the public and people you don't even know to have control over your relationship based on their opinion. You're validating other people's opinions versus what you have going on. If you're ashamed of your past, don't put it out there, because people will hold that power over your future. We must protect our relationships from the public, because your partnership and your marriage, that is sacred. Creating content online? Come on, man, what are we doing? If you're not careful, that spotlight is going to turn into a performance. You're just going to be a performer. Arguments that you have, that's going to become content. Trauma that you may be holding on to, these are going to be things that's clickbait, simply because you're doing it for the sake of content. That's crazy. When you have validation coming from strangers versus your own partner, that's when the beginning of the relationship is going to start to break down and crumble to pieces. So we need to have an alignment check. You need to have an alignment check overall. You need to ask yourself, am I living for truth or am I living for perception? Do I want people to perceive me a particular way versus my honest life and my honest truth? The next thing that we need to ask ourselves is, what am I sharing with the world that I haven't healed within myself? The next thing you need to ask yourself is, does my relationship feel protected or exposed? Not everything needs to be content. Keep some things to yourself. I don't know why everyone is just so quick to record things that need to just be kept offline, especially if it's affecting a relationship that you say you love. Some things, they need to be cherished. They need to be healed. They need to be respected. They need to be private. Now, here are some healthy practices that you can start right now. Practice private growth. Heal before revealing. Your partner should hear your truth before an audience. You need to strengthen your identity together. Be transparent with your partner. You need to be transparent with each other first, though. When you're in a relationship, you need to create relationship boundaries. Decide what stays off camera. Decide what stays off the internet. Decide what stays off limits about the things that you expose about your life. Now, what I learned about this entire situation is that if you're not honest, it's going to be shown. If you build an audience based on trust, then that needs to be the main focal point that you make sure doesn't change. Trust. Recently, Akaash, he went on his podcast that he has with Andrew Schultz. They talked about this entire situation and they made very light of it, and they didn't ask the questions or they didn't press a situation that would have appeased the audience. And based on a lot of the comments that you see on the video, you can see that the people who subscribe to their channel, they're upset. I'll read you just a few comments that are safe for me to talk about on this channel. So when we look at this video and we scroll down to the comment section, people are saying things like, "I'm embarrassed that I used to watch this podcast. One woman destroyed an entire crew's reputation and credibility. My greatest fear is to end up with a friend circle like Akaash's, fakest group on earth. This is worse than when Will Smith went to the red table. Akaash, your wife saying HJ and BJ don't count is not a good thing. Yikes. The worst thing you can do is try to make your audience look dumb." This is what the people who subscribe to his channel and watch their content are saying about him. This is crazy. Another thing that I learned about this situation is that if people are happy in their relationship, even if it comes off to us as it's not honest, it's not real, she's using him, she's a gold digger, she's disrespectful, she doesn't give off the whatever it may be that we can obviously see. If someone is defending that behavior and there's millions of people who can obviously see that this behavior is inappropriate and there's contradicting stories and there's lies and there's gaslighting, if everyone can see that, but these two people who are in this relationship, if they are okay with it, then more power to them. Is it a relationship that I would highlight and say that this is something that I want to be in? No, not at all. But it's not me. Everyone's lives are different. Everyone doesn't have the exact same boundaries. Everyone has different boundaries. People have different tolerance levels of the things that they want in a relationship and the things that they don't want in it. So if this is how they want to do it, more power to them. As long as y'all are okay with it, go for it. Go for it. But this is also an example to people like me of what you will never accept in a woman or in a relationship or even just in a person. That type of behavior and that comfortability, talking about sleeping with other men and sizing other... She's probably did everything that you can think of that's okay to put online to make you be like, yo, this is crazy. My opinion is that it's not anything that I would want. This is a perfect lesson of what you should avoid. If you see this and this makes you uncomfortable, good, because you know the things that truly matter to you and the perception of your wife, your woman, that is a reflection of you. So if this is what you're okay with, go for it, but use this as a lesson of things that you don't want, okay? I didn't show really the video because there's a lot of language that I don't feel like bleeping out, and it's not necessarily the language that I want to bring to this channel, but there's definitely a lesson that we can learn from this, okay?